D, wait for it, light bulb.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just got done watching Marvel's What If, and I have to admit, this episode was pretty good. I mean, it's Marvel Zombies. It's not now. Marvel Zombies was a full blown story. Like they had issues come out and everything. This was not a what if story. I mean, like when you look at the what if comic books, they did one little thing, like in the comic books, for instance, what if instead of Uncle Ben dying, Aunt May died? And then it would talk about what if that happened. It would usually just one-offs. They do one issue and everything. But when Marvel Zombies, what they did was in the Ultimate Fantastic Four, they got contacted by another Reed Richards from a different Earth. And he was all like, oh, hey, we need to come there and we need help or whatnot. And that Reed Richards was a zombie. Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four were zombies, and they came to the Ultimate Earth and ended up getting captured. But what happened was Magneto, he was able to save the remaining 3 humans on Earth by sending them through the portal to our world, we'll say, or the Ultimate Universe. And then he stayed behind to fight off the Avengers, the zombie Avengers. And that's how the very first issue of Marvel Zombies started. And I don't think they told you how the virus started in there, but it just talked. But then they all the Avengers became zombies, and then they started attacking the other superheroes. And like this says, once the superheroes became zombies, us mere mortals didn't stand a chance. And there's a lot of, and I'll go into some of this. I don't remember everything. I was going to read it, but I thought this week's episode of What If was going to be Party Thor, but I was wrong. I read the thing wrong or something happened. I thought it was Party Thor, and it's not Party Thor. It's Marvel Zombies. And like I said, this episode was pretty good. It's the best episode so far, in my opinion. And I'll get into it. I'm not sure how I feel about the ending or this show in general, as far as like what they're doing, which I'll talk about it also at the end after I break this down. But like I said, this was a pretty good episode, and yeah. So now that I've said all that, why don't we go ahead and get started on breaking down this episode? So it starts off with its normal thing where the Watcher talks about how, one little, time is not a linear thing. It's a prism, and one little thing in each one can, make a parallel universe. I'm paraphrasing, by the way, because I don't remember exactly what it says and I didn't write it down. But then he's all like, it asks the questions, what if, and everything. So it starts off with Bruce Banner, like he did in Infinity War, where he comes to Earth and he lands in the Sanctum Sanctorum, and he's all like, hello, and everything. He's like, and he comes outside and he's like, oh, I was too late. So he's looking around and everything. And then these two show up, Black Maw and Big Guy. I don't remember, Onyx, whatever, name some kind of stone. Okay. And they're all like, be prepared to die or whatever. And he's all like, Hulk, come out. And he's like, no. And he's like, what do you mean no? Like he did in Infinity War, totally the same. And then this guy's all chatter chit. And Tony Stark's glove comes through and shoots him in the head, and he lands on the ground and everything, and they pop through. And that's Wong, Doctor Strange, and Tony Stark. And he's like, oh yeah, Avengers and everything. And they come out and they just start fighting these two. And it was pretty cool. They hop through like and everything, and they just start. And he's all like, "Who?" And he starts eating. They start eating them. They just start eating. And he's all like, "Wasn't that overkill, you guys?" And then Tony turns around. And he's a zombie Tony. And he's all like, "Whoa, what's up, guys?" And everything. So then they start coming at him and everything. And the Cape comes in and starts helping him out and everything. Wong jumps through here. He ends up getting beheaded. These two turn into zombies and they start coming at him. Then a bunch of ants come in and tear their flesh off and everything. And it ends up being Wasp, and she, kills those zombies. And she's all like, let's get out of here. Spider-Man picks him up, and then they go off. And then the Watcher's all like, talking, and he tells the story of what happened. Now, what happened was Hank Pym went into the quantum realm to get his wife. And instead of her being all normal, she got a quantum virus, which attacked her brain and turned her into a zombie. So she ended up attacking him. Munchie Munchie, they get back on the ship. Hope Van Dyne and them are in there and they pop out and she bursts into Wasp right away, totally screw my man's, and he gets attacked and eaten. Then the West Coast is within 24 hours is zombified and everything. So then, everybody's zombies and everything. And then the Avengers show up and the Watcher says, their act of heroism sealed the fate of the world, because once the superheroes become zombies, us mere mortals, we have no chance whatsoever. And so they come in. Captain America gets bit right off the bat by Hank Pym, and he jumps back up and mortified and everything and chews on him, while the other Avengers are trying to fight off the zombies, which they are not going to do because there's too many. That's the thing about zombies. They're not the zombies are not like powerful or whatever, but their strength is in their numbers, because you could take out one or two, but when you've got 200 surrounding you, it's hard to take them all out. So then we get this little funny kind of zombie land feature with Spider-Man and the rest of the crew. And he's talking about the rules basically. And, wear long sleeves, which that's a thing too. Always wear long sleeves. I don't know why anybody says that, like jeans and stuff, wear jeans. Cause I'm sorry, me personally, I could not bite through this sweater to get to my skin. So I always wonder about zombies. Like, why don't you just wear jeans? Because nobody can bite through jeans, especially zombies. They're all mortified and everything. So anyways, the wear thing, there's Happy Hogan with this dude from Ant-Man. I can't remember, Dastmalchian, Nathan Dastmalchian. That's the actor. He plays Polka Dot Man. Anyways, so they're introducing the crew and with the rules and everything. And Okoye, she looks great there. I love her, seeing her animated. And so they're on this. I love this whole thing going on. There's subway cars, and excuse me, that looks like a truck or whatever. But there's subway cars, but they're up in the air. That's with spider webs. That's so freaking cool. I loved that shot and everything. I would have liked to have spent more time here, but obviously can't. So they find a signal, and it's a cure for the zombified people, but it got disrupted on its way to them, so they don't know where it came from. So they're thinking it's this Avengers base or whatever. I think it's the Avengers, or it's the place in WandaVision, but don't quote me on that because I can't remember off the top of my head, and it really doesn't matter. Anyways, so they decide they're going to go to the subway to get there. So they go, so they're driving along, and he's all like, and Happy Hogan's like, of course I'm driving. And she's like, aren't you an Uber driver? And he's all like, I am a personal chauffeur. And then the zombie pops up. Now, I thought this was Giant Man when it happened. But then they're all little and everything. And then they bust up and they turn him into mush. Then they go into Grand Central Station and they're all hanging out. Here's the group. And she's like, and Okoye's like, we need to split up. Bad decision. Listen, if you're in a horror movie or in a horror movie situation, never split up. That is the rule. You have more power in numbers, like the zombies. So they split up. Dastmalchian and Banner and Parker go to start up the train. Okoye and Winter Soldier, they stay above in this little section that they're in here. And then Sharon Carter and Happy Hogan, they go down below. I can't remember what the Wasp does. I think she might go with Spider-Man and them. So they're sitting here, and the Falcon is hunting them. They're trying to get the thing. They can't get it up. Oh, she does go with them, because she goes into the engine and she's all like, we need a boost. They can't fire up or whatever. We need like a giant slingshot. And that's where Spider-Man comes in, because he's all like, he slingshots them. So Happy Hogan, he's got the thing, and these birds come in and he's all like, bow, bam, 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 and everything. And she's like, did you just say pow, pow, or bam, bam? I can't remember what he said. And he gets shot in the arm and then pulled back. And this, of course, was Hawkeye. He shoots Sharon and she gets thrown up the wall, and he comes out and everything. Okoye and them are prepared to fight Falcon. Sorry, I didn't grab any more screen grabs. I should have grabbed more, but I didn't. Happy Hogan comes out and he's all like, rah, 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 like he's growling. The thing in the comic books is in the comic books, the more that the zombies ate, the more that they kept their, their mindset about them. Once they started to go hungry, that's when they turned into real like zombies, and everything. And eventually they do get cured once you stop eating. Maybe they just keep their personality all around. Yeah, they keep their personality all around, but they're always hungry. They even eat Ego at one point in time. And Galactus. They turn into Galactus and they eat Silver Surfer. Oh, it's crazy. They're good comic books. I feel like it went on a little too long, but they're good comic books. Anyways, so but they keep their personalities, but they're always hungry. But once they stop eating, that's when they get cured. Like they're not even hungry anymore. Like once they start not eating. So anyway, so they're fighting. Falcon, does his thing. Hawkeye does his thing. Okoye, the Falcon is about to eat or attack Winter Soldier, and she comes down and bam, right in half, slice them right in half. Sorry, buddy. And Sharon Carter here is running. Tony Stark has the slingshot ready. He's all like, do it and everything. They come through these zombies, Wasp goes through and she's blasting them and everything because she, can and everything. And Peter Parker is surrounded by zombies now because he slingshot him, but he doesn't have anything. And the Cape comes in and saves him and pulls him through. And the train goes through and they're all on the train and everything. She's looking back at the city and she's like, oh, bummer. We lost, Happy, we're leaving the city. Sorry, I just need some libation. And so, but she hears something on the roof and it busts through and it's Captain America because Bucky hears them. She hears Sharon scream. She's like, ah, and everything. I'm sorry. When you hear something on the roof, you don't hang around to see what it is. You get the hell out of there. You go grab some people's and you take it out. Okay. So stupid, Sharon. So then he comes in. He's like, hey, Cap, I think you're done and everything, or you're full. So Cap comes in and they start fighting. He throws the shield. He grabs Sharon, and I didn't grab it, but he grabs her by the head and he throws her behind because she's zombified now. He throws the shield. He grabs it and then he throws it at Cap and it slices him in half. Then she's all like, I'm gonna eat you kind of thing. And then she's like, huh? And then she explodes and there's Hope right in there in the mix. They come in and she's like, I'm covered in Sharon and everything. And he's like, oh, Hope and everything. So she got cut, which means she got either some kind of bitten or scratch. They say it's through saliva. So because she could have got that from anything, especially when they were in the subway tunnel. But then as soon as she went into Sharon's mouth, saliva time and everything. So like your heart rate is weird. You're doing all the wrong things. And he's all hopeful. I can't remember. He's like, we're going to get the cure. You're going to be fine. She's like, how do you do it? How do you stay so upbeat? I want to know too. How do you stay so upbeat? And he's like, I guess my Aunt May used to say like, grass is always greener on the other side or whatever the hell he says. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Anyways. So then this guy, Dasmalchian comes in. He's like, hey, bad news. We've run out of gas. And they're all like, he's like, bad also news. We have to get through all those zombies to get to the camp. And Okoye is all like, we're never going to make it through there. And she's all like, yes, you will. You can't go through them, but you can go over them. And he's like, no, you can't. She's like, I can do one last thing kind of thing. And so she turns into Giant Wasp and she starts stomping on these guys and protecting them while the zombies are crawling up her. And she puts them over the fence and then they climb through and she ends up dying. And they're all like, what are they doing? They're not trying to scale the fence. And there's a big hole in the fence. And I didn't grab a shot of this, but they're not even coming through. They don't have to scale the fence. They're not coming through. Why is that? So they go through and he's all talking about Baba Yaga. And that's fun and everything. I'm not going to get into that. And they find Vision. They're like Vision and everything. And Vision, they're like, so the zombies are being kept at bay because of his mind, the Mind Stone. So they go in and he's like, I was he was able to create a cure kind of. And Ant-Man is alive as a head. That's weird, but whatever. And this plays in the original comic book, it's not Hope Van Dyne. Yeah, it's Hope. No, it's not Hope Van Dyne. It's Mommy Van Dyne. I can't remember because Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne are Wasp and Ant-Man, not Hope and Scott. But Janet, she gets her head lopped off as a zombie And then they make a robot body for her up in the mutant asteroid M, and she's able to walk around, and she's like a normal human being just with a zombie head instead of a human head, because once you stop eating, you're fine. Like you turn back and you get your normal personality. You're not hungry anymore. You don't want to kill people. It's just, got that hunger kind of thing. So he's all like, hey, and he makes a lot of puns and jokes and everything. And they were like funny dad jokes. I mean, I chuckled a little bit at one of them. I can't remember which one, something about getting ahead in life or something like that. So he's all like, it attacks the brain. I use the mind stone. I'm able to cure them, sort of. So he cured Scott here. And he's all like, I'm gonna go find us. So and they're all like, he's all like, but we don't have satellite capability to transfer it over the entire earth. And Okoye's like, we do in Wakanda. It's the only sanctuary left with humans in it on Earth because they have that force field. Although, what about Atlantis? Atlantis is coming, and zombies can walk through the water. But I mean, like, how does that work? Anyways, so, and they can fight sharks if you know your zombie lore. Anyways, so he goes through and Vision's all like, you're not going to find what you were looking for. So he's going through and they're sitting here talking, and he sees something behind him. You can't really see it in this picture. And he turns around and he shoots, and it's Wanda, and she's zombified, but she's behind glass and everything. And he's all like, well, and then you hear T'Challa say something. I don't know what he said, but he's like, T'Challa, and he's like, Bucky, you have to help me out of here and everything. And he's all cut up. Now, this takes place in the comic books also. I believe it's Black Panther also in the comic books, but I believe it's not it might be Ant-Man, Hank Pym that does it. I'm trying to remember. I was going to read the comic books before this, but like I said, I thought it was going to be Party Thor, not zombies, because I would have read, but I didn't. By the time I found out it was zombies, I didn't have time to read the comic books. But in the comic books, there is, I'm just going to say Ant-Man. He gets Black Panther and he's chopping off limbs because he eats a little bit at a time so he can stay focused and everything. So they're sitting here and they're all like, what did you do? And he basically says that he couldn't use the Mind Stone to cure Wanda because she gets her powers from the Mind Stone, but not really now. I don't know. But it didn't work on here. So he's been luring people here to feed to Wanda. And they're all like, how could you do that kind of thing? And she's all like, why didn't you just put her down? And he's all like, I couldn't love and everything. And they're like, love sucks and everything, but it's great at the same time. And he's like, you have awakened her and she hasn't eaten for days and everything. So then the doors pop open. Dastmalchian gets eaten. She comes in. Okoye throws her spear. She blasts it away. He grapples her. They're fighting. He's like, Vision, you have to get us out of here. He's like, you're right. He gets him out of there, but grabs Okoye. I was bummed that Okoye died. Like, you couldn't save Okoye out of everybody, but you saved T'Challa. I mean, like, listen, no disrespect to Chadwick Boseman, but Okoye is cooler than T'Challa. I like Okoye. She's my favorite Wakandian. She's just so cool. She's cool. Okay, I'm sorry. So anyway, so then he's all like, Okoye, and he's like, my king, Wakanda forever. And then she gets taken down. Vision destroys the little building that they're in. He's like, get to the hangar. There's a Quinjet. I'm going to stay. I can't leave her. I love her and everything. So he pulls out the Mind Stone. The zombies, since the Mind Stone's, been deactivated, kind of, the zombies come in. Then Wanda comes out. She's all pissed that he's dead, and Bucky's all like, run. So they run to the hangar. He's all going to fight Wanda. Wanda's like, ugh, and everything. She picks him up and throws him. So I think Bucky's still alive because these will all come back, especially with the end. All these characters are going to come back. So she sees him run into the hangar. She runs there, but she flies up. Oh, I didn't do that right. So she flies over. She bites him, but he turns into the Hulk, and she can't bite through his skin as the Hulk. So he throws her. He's like, thanks, buddy. So then they're about to fly off, but they see all the zombies. And he's all like, we got to get this to the whatever and everything. So he's like, come on, buddy. Come on. You can do this. You can do this. And so he turns into the Hulk, and him and Wanda start throwing down. He's like, bring it, mama, and everything. So then they fly out. These two are fighting, which was cool, but it would have been nice to see a little bit more of that fight. But I'm pretty sure we'll see stuff coming up. They break through all this crap. And he's like, yeah, we made it. And he's like, don't jinx it. And of course, Hope wakes up as a zombie, giant zombie, and she goes to grab the plane, and they turn on the thrusters, and they are able to get away. But I really liked here, she throws a zombie at him, like a zombie dude at him. And he's like, I'm so sorry. So they're flying to Wakanda, and I can't remember what they say here, but he's like, hopefully we can cure everybody with this. There's hope, kind of thing. And they're flying Wakanda, and the Watcher says something about how, like, you're willing to risk anything to save your world and everything. I can't remember what he says. And you see these zombies at the gates and everything, which is normal and everything. But then we see Thanos. He's arrived on Earth, and he's a zombie, and he's turned all the Wakandians, because you can see some of the Dora Milaje there zombified, and he has got the Infinity Gauntlet, and he only needs one more stone, and guess which stone he needs. And that's where it ends. And I thought that I didn't like the ending that much, because it's like, why would Thanos turn everybody else into zombies? That makes no sense. Why wouldn't he just snap his fingers and turn everybody back to normal? I don't understand that portion of the program. Also, I think these characters are going to come back, because in the trailer we saw more of Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, and that's what he's called in the action figure, and that's what he's been called on the in the stuff and everything. He's Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see these characters again, which will be cool. I mean, like, I like this in the sense that I did like seeing these characters again in cartoon form, especially because I do like that comic book. I have all of them except for the very, very first one. I don't have the very first one, because that one, when it came out, I didn't, because it was an Ultimate Fantastic Four, and it's like, who gets Ultimate Fantastic Four, so I didn't buy the very first one, but I bought all of them after that, because it's one of those crossover events that they do all the time in Marvel, where it was like they had the main issues of the comic book, and then you could buy, like, it was 2 Black Panthers, like 1 Spider-Man. I don't think there was any more Fantastic Four. But yeah, the comic book was pretty good. It got a little weary towards the end. Like, I was like, I've kind of had enough of this, but at the same time, it was pretty decent. So that is my breakdown of this episode. Like I said, I liked it. It's the best episode yet, because I thought the other episodes were not that great. But I'm, whatever. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. Did you guys like this episode? Who was your favorite character? Did you wish hadn't gotten eaten? Do you hope to see this world again, this whole zombified world and everything? Did you read the Marvel Zombies comic books when they came out, like I did? Or have you not even read them or whatnot? I'm pretty sure you can pick them up now. Yeah, go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my breakdown and review of What If. You guys have a good week. Bye.